now.
Okay.
Okay, and welcome back, everyone. We're back live on Instagram again, and this is the first inning. And I'm live with Roger, the big Yankee fan. And say hello, Roger.
Hello, BX Bomber. We are recording on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to all our religious friends, and happy Passover to all our Jewish friends, and happy Easter to all the children expecting eggs and chocolate from the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, man, that's right. Everybody's getting their Easter candy going on now.
Right, exactly, exactly. We had a little difficulty. We did a live show on Saturday. We had some technical difficulties, so we weren't able to put it up on YouTube or Spotify. But we're giving it another shot today.
Yeah, hopefully this saves too. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it does.
Okay, hopefully everything will work out okay. And as we were talking about on Saturday, that there is a contingency plan set up, but as of right now, nothing is set in stone. And I have a little bit of information, a short article on that, if you would like me to go through it.
All right, cool. Let's hear it.
Okay, here we go. This is from NBC News, and what we have is this is from Kristen Red of NBC News. Imagine the start of the 2020 baseball season resembling a version of the 1998 Jim Carrey film The Truman Show, where daily life, in this case Major League Baseball games, plays out inside a bubble. But baseball sources who spoke to NBC News say the different contingency plans to start the 2020 baseball season during the Corona pandemic are we're pre-game stretch with any of these ideas. We're not even close to the first inning. The sources spoke on condition of anonymity due to the ongoing discussions between MLB and the players' union. The COVID-19 outbreak brought sports to a standstill and caused MLB to cancel the remainder of spring training and postpone the start of the season indefinitely on March 12th. But two recent reports detail possible plans for how baseball could resume play and salvage the season. One plan proposed in a ESPN report would involve all 30 Major League Baseball teams playing games in Arizona using spring training sites in the Diamondbacks' home stadium, Chase Field. Players, coaches, and essential team personnel would live in relative isolation and travel to and from the ballparks each day. A different plan outlined in a USA Today report would see teams returning to their spring training homes in Florida and Arizona and playing games in those states only. The American and National Leagues would be scrapped in favor of a total realignment of divisions. The Yankees and Phillies, according to the report, would play in the same division since their spring training sites are both on the west coast of Florida. Either contingency plans calls for games to be played in front of empty stadiums. The whole idea of playing without fans is very hard to accomplish. Playing without fans means players are going to have to take very serious pay cuts, said another baseball source. If I'm a guy a year out from free agency, am I going to do that? Probably not, and be isolated from my family. MLB and the Players Association have discussed different scenarios to start the season, NBC has learned, but one source said the Florida-Arizona plan was only broached briefly. And contrary to the ESPN report, which said both MLB and the union embraced the Arizona plan, a union source called that characterization totally inaccurate. We listen, but the idea that we had embraced that plan is totally inaccurate, the union source said. The union did not comment for this story. MLB released a statement after the ESPN story was published. MLB has been actively considering numerous contingency plans that would allow play to commence once the public health situation has improved to the point that it is safe to do so. While we have discussed the idea of staging games at one location as one potential option, we have not settled on that option or developed a detailed plan, the league said. While we continue to interact regularly with the government and public health officials, we have not sought or received approval of any plan from federal, state, and local officials or the Players Association. The health and safety of our employees, players, fans, and the public at large are paramount, and we are not ready at this time to endorse any particular format for staging games in light of the rapidly changing public health situation caused by the coronavirus. Beyond the economic factors, loss of gate receipts, stadium sponsorship deals compromised, media revenue only making up a fraction of the overall gains, there are overwhelming challenges required to maintain the highest health and safety standards for everyone. Public health officials may express optimism on one front, but health officials from state to state might have completely opposing views. One baseball executive was skeptical that there will be a season if no COVID-19 vaccine becomes available, something that leading health experts such as Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, urge won't be approved until next year at the earliest. Why waste time if there is no vaccine, the executive said. The baseball source said a more prudent outlook would be to wait another 2 months and see what the global landscape looks like then. If a baseball season starts in mid-July, it could be treated like past strike-shortened seasons where teams would play a reduced schedule and playoffs could extend into November. All these other plans, they are nice to talk about, and it would be great if they could be realized, but there needs to be about 50 things that have to go right in a very small window of time, said the baseball source. Everybody everybody is anxious to play, so everyone is brainstorming. If baseball tries to push out a startup plan too quickly, one source worried that it would only increase health risks for those in and around the game. How are these plans going to account for the cooks, clubhouse attendance, the media, and the idea there is some degree of risk, said the source. Nothing is going to happen fast. So as of right now, it looks like nothing is going to happen fast at this point in time, and they're going to have to wait at least a couple more months to see where we are.
Well, all I gotta say is, if they're not gonna play baseball in Yankee Stadium, then they shouldn't play baseball at all.
Right, I
In my
know.
opinion.
There is one epidemiologist that appears on MSNBC quite a bit, and he is really showing a bleak outlook. He is saying that people may have to social distance until the fall of 2021, for goodness sake. I think he's a little bit on the crazy side at that point, that he thinks nothing can really go back to normal until there is a vaccine available. And the fall of 2021 is the earliest that something like that could even take place. Now, that would be crazy to be doing this for 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how this is gonna last for that long, honestly, in my
Right.
opinion.
As the report said, nothing is set in stone, and they will just basically have to wait another 2 months and see where the world is at this point, at that point, and they will have to see and decide then. There is still a possibility, depending on what the CDC says and the health officials, that they might be able to start within their respective cities by July. But the virus is the one that is setting the timeline.
Yeah,
And as of right now,
that's
from what I
true.
understand, New York is evening out a bit, is going steady. But from what I understand, there are still 1,000 deaths a day going on right now at the peak. But they believe this to be the peak. And Philadelphia should be peaking within a week. So the virus is setting the timeline on all of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really depends on how this thing is gonna leave. I mean, is There's a lot of factors in it, man. There's a lot of
Right.
factors in it. I don't think they're gonna be playing baseball this summer.
Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you, I really have a pessimistic view of it myself. I have a pessimistic view of it myself. Oh, and by the way, I've been sent by the World Trade Center a information that they have given me my refund for our trip to the World Trade Center for May 23rd.
Oh, they
So
did it automatically?
yes, I called them and contacted them and left a voicemail, and they are sending a refund back to my debit card at this point in time. And so that should be back. I'll be checking tomorrow with my bank account to make sure that the money is back in the account. And
Yeah.
hopefully later on this year, I know right now it looks rather pessimistic and it really looks like a rough situation. But it really is a case of where we will just have to wait and see
Yeah.
for the next 2 months. It's very, very depressing. I know it's very depressing, but all we can
Yeah.
do is just wait and see at this point in time.
Yeah, because there's way too much going on in the cities right now. The cases are still going up, the death tolls are still going up. So once that
Exactly.
goes down, they're not gonna play any baseball.
No, not at this point. Not the way things are in New York City right now.
No.
Definitely not the way things are in New York City right now. And we will just have to see how it all plays out. And unfortunately, it's just a waiting game, and we'll have to see. I was looking for an article here. I'm having a little difficulty finding it now, talking about what some of the Yankees are doing during the shutdown. A lot of them have gone home. Masahiro Tanaka
Yeah.
has gone back to Japan.
Yeah, I don't blame them, man, because there's no telling when baseball will start again.
Right,
Mhm.
Masahiro Tanaka has gone back to Japan, and also all the other players have headed home. And I was just trying to find that article. It's hard for me to find right now, but pretty much everyone is back at home, and we will just pretty much have to see how it all goes. Earlier today, I was getting a little bit of baseball withdrawal, so I put on the March 10th game that Garrett Cole pitched against the Toronto Blue Jays, and boy, did he look sharp, hitting 97, 98 miles per hour, and was really looking forward to this season. And it is quite a bummer right now what is happening.
Did you hear that Robin Manfred took away the Astros World Series trophy?
No, I did not hear that.
I saw it on ESPN yesterday. The Astros, Robin Manfred made an announcement that he took away the World Series trophies from the Astros of 2017, and they're not allowed in the playoffs until 2023.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Holy cow. So they'll just be playing their seasons and they just have to play the regular seasons and go home then, huh?
basically, yeah, it's a waste of a time for them.
Wow. Wow, that is incredible. That is the latest news. I have not seen that yet today, but that is incredible. Not until 2023. So this year, next year, and the year after that, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So they're done. You know.
Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible. And otherwise, I was reading an article that Chapman is really jacked now and really
Yeah,
working out and definitely
they've
hitting
been doing a lot
over
of boxing
100
too.
miles
You
per
see,
hour.
they've been
So,
doing a lot of boxing.
oh yes, yes. So he is ready to go when if and when we can get a season started back up.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate in time now, they already closed the New York City school system, so there won't be none of that.
Right. Hi,
And
Bryson. Hey, Bryson. How are you doing? Bryson has joined us. Happy
yeah,
Easter to you, Bryson. Yes, I heard the New
and
York City schools have closed down for the rest of this school year.
yeah, so I don't see things happening like coming back quickly, especially Cuomo wants to open up stores again. So I don't know how they're gonna do that and what's the timeline. So it's gonna be until May or June, man, so life goes back to normal again.
Right. That is the case, and I know you and I we were looking forward to doing our vlogs from Yankee Stadium, and we would have already finished up our first April trip together. I would have been with you on April 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then been back down here now, and would have been coming up again in late May, and then showing up again in September. But unfortunately, that is all set back. But I'll keep
Well,
my fingers crossed that we could get together by July.
since there won't be any baseball in the Bronx, I'm going to buy a membership to the Bronx Zoo and start doing Bronx Zoo videos.
Oh, wow. Excellent. That
So
sounds good.
we'll keep the channel going for a while until baseball gets back, you know?
Right. Right. Is the zoo open?
No, it's closed.
Right, right, right. Everything is closed down
Yeah.
until we can get some things going again. It's a very depressing type of situation. But we have lovely weather down here today, and my mom has gone to pick up my nephew, and she should be back fairly soon, and Tula will be over a little bit later. Here is an interesting article: the Yankees and Phillies in the same division. Holy moly! And let me just wait for this to load. This is from Yahoo Sports. Yankees and Phillies as division rivals. MLB shortened season could feature weird rivals. Let's see what we have. If Major League Baseball is able to pull off its quarantine version of the season, fans could see some drastically altered divisions. Have you ever wanted to see the New York Yankees beat up on the Pittsburgh Pirates for multiple games? In 2020, you may get that chance. One of the rumored MLB season ideas revolves around eliminating the American National League in 2020 and instead using the Grapefruit and Cactus League as the replacements in this scenario. Teams would be split up in much different divisions, according to Bob Nightingale of USA Today. Nightingale included a sketch of what the new division could look like. It's unclear whether this is the exact alignment MLB is considering, or if Nightingale is using team proximity to make his best guess at how this proposal will work out. Here's what he included. He would have the North Division as the New York Yankees in the Grapefruit League, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Detroit Tigers, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. In the South Division of the Grapefruit League would be the Boston Red Sox, Minnesota Twins, Atlanta Braves, Tampa Bay Rays, and Baltimore Orioles. And in the East would be the Washington Nationals, Houston Astros, New York Mets, St. Louis Cardinals, and Miami Marlins. So that is a weird setup, but I really hope that does not come to fruition because I really want to see the teams eventually come back to their cities so we could
Yeah, I
meet
don't
up this
understand
year.
their point either. I don't understand what's the point of having them play in Arizona when they can play in their stadiums, right? With no
Right,
fans, right?
right, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense, you know?
Well, what
They
the
still have to
reason
fly, you know?
the reason that they would want to do that is because they would want to keep the players all quarantined and not flying around to different cities. They would keep them closely quarantined in specific hotels and monitor their traveling, and they would go back and forth to specific hotels. And this way, if they're doing the quarantine version, they would not be going all around the country.
Well, I mean, eventually you still have to travel one day, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
what's the difference? You
Yeah.
know, just make sure it's sterilized before you go in there. That's
Yeah.
all.
I see what you're
You know?
saying. I see what you're saying. And
You can't live
so
in a
we'll see
bubble
how,
forever.
right, we'll have to see how it goes. And otherwise, we just have to wait it out now.
Yeah, that's true, man. I don't know how long it's gonna take. That's the thing. You know, this
Right.
thing could be well into the summer,
Well,
you
we'll just
know?
have to, for now, we'll have to sit tight for another 2 months And I know it's a bummer. At least you're getting out and you're an essential employee, and you're going making sure the school is taken care of and that things are cleaned up and sanitized, and you and the people that work at the grocery stores and the people that are delivering packages and doing cleanup. It turns out that they are all the essential employees. They are the ones that really keep the economy and the world working. And of course, we have to give a shout out to all the medical personnel who are doing the best they can with a shortage of supplies.
Yeah, with the doctors and nurses. But the reason why I say it's gonna last well into the summer is because even though people get better in May or June, um, businesses are gonna be reluctant to reopen again. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or we might not have the money to reopen again. So it might take some time for things to happen again. You know, so yeah, it might not get better till August or September.
Yeah, we
You know?
really don't know. I mean, the pessimistic look is almost like the whole year is canceled for everything, for the economy, for entertainment, for all kinds of things, you know. That is a pessimistic view, and it is just very dark times that we are living in right now with this pandemic taking place. And a lot of this has been predicted. I'm a studier of the global climate change crisis as well, and we did several shows on that. And with the loss of permafrost, the permanently frozen soil that is now losing its frozen abilities, it is now not only releasing methane, but it is also releasing ancient viruses and different types of things. So we could face all kinds of diseases in the upcoming years if we do not get this climate crisis under control.
Yeah, I mean everything has a take in it, but people don't want to blame the people that it happened in Wuhan, China. You
Right.
know, and the crazy part is that they reopened the wet market that it happened in.
Yes, I know you were
You know,
telling me. I know you were telling me. But as of right now, there are some reports that the United States feels they cannot trust the Chinese numbers. And then there are other reports where the United States is the epicenter of the pandemic. New York State has more reported cases than any other country has reported. New York State alone. So the United States has become the epicenter, and it really has been a poor response by this administration. And it really is a very rough deal going on here in this country. Oh, and
yeah,
by the
sure.
way, I wanted to let you know that we are safe by using that term now. I checked in with several other YouTubers where they are not demonetizing,
Okay, cool.
but that is what is happening there.
Yeah, but the thing is, with this whole thing is that it's gonna take a long time because the more testing they do, the more cases is gonna come about, and there's gonna be
Right,
more and more people quarantined. You know,
right,
it's gonna take some time to even itself out. And to
exactly.
figure out, the who's of who's got the virus or not.
Oh, Bryson is asking if the Yankee ticket office is still open. I don't believe it is, but I'm not sure.
Well, allegedly, they're gonna start selling tickets again on May 22nd. The Yankees are gonna
Oh,
restart selling tickets on May 22nd.
okay, well,
So hopefully, maybe that day it'll be open. You have to look for that day,
yeah, we could look
22nd.
at that as a optimistic point of view if they're going to start reselling tickets at that point.
But you got to remember they're not essential employees. So when the government lifts the ban of all employees are able to go back to work, then the ticket office will be open.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly, exactly. So we'll just have to see how it all goes.
Yeah,
Okay,
we gotta go
Bryson says
day by day.
cool. Bryson left a little emoji. You see, Bryson? Happy
Yeah,
Easter, Bryson.
yeah, that's the only thing, man. You have to wait for them people to for the government to let everybody back to work again.
Right, right. I can hear
Yeah,
you definitely sound down. You definitely sound down yourself today.
yeah, it sucks. Make sure you spend your stimulus check money on a Yankee jersey or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on for a while because you know how things come up and things come to you. So I'm not going to make any impulse buys. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to hold on and see what happens. Our property taxes are due soon at the house with my family member, and I may have to contribute some of that to the property taxes that we have. So things come to us. So I'm not going to be making any impulse buys and use it where it's needed. And then if the Yankees are coming back into New York City, I will, get some tickets to meet up with you. So I'm holding on and making sure what's doing and what's what.
Yeah, man. Let's see, man. I had the whole season paid off already too, man. Had the whole season paid off, man. That sucks.
I know. And I had my games as well. But if you said that they may be talking about reselling by May 22nd, that is something to hang your hat on a little bit at least. And instead of us feeling totally down, let's keep our options open and believe that maybe by midsummer, they could have a limited 100 game schedule.
And the thing is that and Major League Baseball is aiming to do it on July 1st. You know?
Right, right. There's all different things as they were talking about the Arizona idea, the Florida Arizona idea, the idea of them coming back into the cities by July 1st. So the whole thing is the uncertainty. We're dealing with
Yeah,
uncertainty as to
yeah,
what
I
may be
know.
happening next.
Well, anyway, we'll leave it there on this radio on this show.
Okay.
And we'll thank everybody for listening and watching. To go follow us on.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Things are going pretty good here too.
All right, so I'm ready to go. I'm gonna start it now.
Okay.
Okay, and welcome back, everyone. We're back live on Instagram again, and this is the first inning. And I'm live with Roger, the big Yankee fan. And say hello, Roger.
Hello, BX Bomber. We are recording on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to all our religious friends, and happy Passover to all our Jewish friends, and happy Easter to all the children expecting eggs and chocolate from the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, man, that's right. Everybody's getting